turboed Metro. Send it. Lightweight tin can, spoolie boy, screamer pipe, MGF.
I've only been racing for 2 years.
Check this cockpit out. Plastic windows, got the slider, of course. That's so you can get your McDonald's from the drive-thru.
That's right, yeah.
Courtesy car, and even this has been modified. Yeah, you literally can't leave anything alone.
Notice a couple of other little bits and pieces that you then see other bits behind them bits. You're opening the can of worms, basically.
Very familiar story. It's an ST170. That's going in the Mark IV Cabriolet.
They only made 20.
Guessing this thing's going to sound pretty leery.
Right into the exhaust on it. It don't feel safe.
Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and today you join me at GE Automotive, where we are making a second video checking out the cars that Greg owns, who is the owner of GE Automotive. If you're anywhere in the Norfolk area and you need any work done to your car, definitely give these guys a shout, especially if you've got a Rover or an MG, because Greg is a Rover and MG specialist. I'm here with my beautiful girlfriend Kat, and of course Greg. Welcome back to the channel for a second time.
No problem at all.
We're going to go and have a look inside in a moment, but first there's a few cars out here in the car park to check out. So we've actually got a Robin Reliant here, which is a customer car, and then next to that we've got a MGZS.
Yeah.
MGZS, which is a bit of a donor for one of the projects that are inside GE Automotive. But over here we've got a really cool turboed Metro.
Purchased this pretty much as you see it. I've done a couple of conversions with VVC Metros in the past. Sold them on, wish I never did, so I then looked for another one or a turbo converted one that had already been done as a project, and this one turned up, so I hit the buy it now button, as they say.
Well, it definitely looks savage. Loving the intercooler, no sorry, that's a charge cooler you were telling me.
Charge cooler, yeah.
Hanging out the front with "Send It" written on it. I can see what I assume is a screamer pipe hanging out the bonnet.
That is.
The bonnet's been painted matte black. Now, one change that Greg has made to this car since he recently bought it is the wheels. And these are the Alley Cat wheels from JBW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this thing's very interesting. You were saying that it had some arch trims on it and stuff, which you've removed.
Yeah, it had some mini wheels on it. They stuck out pretty much about 2.5 inches from the wheel arch. You had to put some plastic spats on, which I'm not fond of, so yeah. I took them off and fitted some wheels that go underneath the actual arches themselves. This is originally a Rover 100, so it had all the rounded bumpers and headlights and stuff like that, but the previous owner had converted it to a Mark III, which is different headlights, different bumpers, different bonnet, and a different rear bumper as well, because some people like that older Metro look.
But this is the later one with the earlier bumper on it and stuff.
The Metro forums, they go, that's not a Metro, that's a Rover 100.
Yeah, so the Rover anoraks sound as bad as the Ford anoraks. Yeah. To me, it's a Metro. What do these things weigh? Nothing.
Nothing, under a ton.
Yeah. Pretty stripped out interior. It's got some Corbu buckets in the front with some harnesses. It's got a Momo steering wheel. You can see it's got an Omex rev limiter. I used to have one of them on my Mark II when it had a crossflow. And in the back, you can see it's got a roll cage with the foam on it and stuff. And in the back are the wheels that were fitted to this car when Greg bought it. But yeah, this thing's literally a lightweight tin can, and as I mentioned, it's got a turbo lamp under the bonnet. Yeah, around the back it's got the spoiler type thing going around it. Is that what would have been fitted to the 100s?
No, that's Metro GTI GTA.
Okay, I'm learning as I go. I really like the Metro decor, whatever that is on the rear screen. And there it is. So this is a
1800 Rover K series, come out of a Rover 75.
Am I right in saying that's the same as what's in these MG?
Similar.
Similar. So yeah, you're saying this is literally as you bought it. You can see the spoolie boy down there, and yeah, that ignorant screamer pipe that pokes through the bonnet. Will that be staying?
Not too sure yet. Not too sure. I quite like it because when it's on the limit, that spits flames out.
I'm saying keep it, but I'm very immature. So. But yeah, what a beast. And we might be going for a spin in this in a little while, which I can't wait for. So over here we've got an MG ZS. Now my mum used to have one of these. I think it was a bit earlier than this, and it wasn't the 180 version that this is. Yeah, really cool car. Comes with these mad gills on the wings and stuff. And yeah, you were saying that this is only slightly modified.
Yeah, it's got literally a bolt-on air filter, an ITG, and a Piper catback exhaust with a sports cat on it.
But yeah, they are pretty smart out of the box, aren't they? Like, got the wing on the back. I don't think my mum had that. That's like a Evo spoiler, isn't it?
Yeah, they tend to call them the fake Evo or the fake Aprexa because of the big rear wing. That's going on the track day as well next weekend.
Oh, right.
So we've got some Accord Type R front brakes to go on it with blue stuff pads all around, and I've got some lowering springs, and what else have I got for it? I've got something else for it as well.
So you literally can't leave anything alone?
No. Everything I get I have to modify.
So over here we've got an MGF. In the last video we saw Greg's MGTF, which is a later version of these, right? Yeah. You can tell straight away by all the decals and stuff around it that this definitely gets used on track.
I've only been racing for 2 years, so got my IRS licence and then built this, and then got the last race of the season in the Cockshoot Cup, which is at Snetterton, and then I made a few changes. And then went into the MG Cup, which is the decal down the side, and I'd done 3 races because at Cadwell I had catastrophic engine failure where the marshals were handing me bits of my piston and rod and there's a nice big hole in my block. So yeah, I then had to get another engine, but I missed 2 races. So we made it at the end of the season last year at Snetterton again, and yeah, it done well. The Cup guys are so fast, and trying to keep up with them as a newbie was fairly difficult, but we was around the back, around somewhere. But we're doing some more changes, and we're going back into the Cockshoot where they do the MGF Cup. So I'll be racing a lot more against the MGF, so we'll be more matched.
Yeah. Now this car hasn't got the sort of parcel shelf in, so we'll be able to have a look at the engine a bit better than we could with Greg's TF. But yeah, proper race car, this thing. Loving all the decals around it and stuff. Got the tow hook on the front, obviously, with it being a track car. Got the electricity and fuel cut-offs here on the outside. But yeah, I'll just show you in the cockpit because yeah, it's really racy, this one. Yeah, it's got the plastic windows with these things to stop them flapping about. Carbon or carbon effect door cards. Is that real carbon or?
No, it's ABC.
Ah, carbon effect. But yeah, check this cockpit out. Only 1 seat in it. Got a proper plumbed in fire extinguisher kit. You can see the nozzles here, and there's a load in the engine compartment as well. Yeah, Sparco Evo bucket seat with red harnesses. Aftermarket steering wheel. Got more cut-off switches here. Is that an aftermarket shifter as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Looks like a billet shifter. I like these nylon knobs as well. Really cool. Yeah, literally just all gutted and stripped out. And as I say, we can actually see the engine in this one a bit better. And you're saying that you're quite limited to the engine mods that you're allowed to do in the race series and stuff?
Literally just the air filter and the exhaust you can play with, and you can remap the ECU. In the Cup, a certain person has to remap it, but in the other one that we're going to, then anyone can remap it.
Yeah, I'm loving this cockpit. You can see it's fully caged. Man, awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like a little track car. Yeah, running Toyo Proxy R888 semi-slicks. You were saying that's another thing that everyone has to run the same tyre as well?
In the
that
MG Cup this year, they're going to go to a one make or one brand tyre just to keep it a level playing field.
It would just give you a look in at the engine with the cover off. As Greg was saying, pretty much completely standard apart from the air filter. And yeah, you can just see there more nozzles for the fire extinguisher kit. And the driver's side plastic windows, got the slider, of course. That's so you can get your McDonald's from the drive-thru.
That's right, yeah.
Walking past the courtesy car that GE Automotive give to their customers, and even this has been modified.
So it's running coilovers, 18-inch wheels, a full exhaust system, a air filter assembly, and it's had a remap as well.
Yeah, you literally can't leave anything alone. All right, Greg, so this is where the magic happens.
Indeed.
Got a Ford here, which we'll have a look at in a minute, but yeah, loving your workshop, alloys on the wall and stuff. So this will be an MG-F?
F, yeah.
Yeah, and this is a customer's car, you were saying?
That is, yeah. So it's just in for full service and a cam belt.
All right, so over here we've got a Mark IV Escort, and you bought this as a complete car that you were told only needed a couple of little bits for it to be ready to be a track weapon, basically.
Yeah.
It had been a track car previously, right?
Yeah, it was in the XR Challenge, and it was last raced 10 years ago. It's done a couple of track days after that, but no racing, and got told it needed a set of seat belts that was in date and a fire extinguisher that was in date. But when I started looking around the car after I picked it up, I noticed a couple of other little bits and pieces that needed to be done, and you start taking them bits off, and then you then see other bits behind them bits, and it's just, you're opening the can of worms, basically. Very
familiar story. But yeah, now that it's like properly stripped, you know, so you can see what's what, you're saying luckily it hasn't got too much rust, but there is some sort of dodgy repairs and damage in the past, and now you're literally going to be building it so it's proper.
Underneath it's going to be like new, on top it's going to be as you see it now.
Yeah.
So, because there's no point building a show car and taking it on to track and bashing it up in the first corner. But underneath is going to be all mechanically nice, and everything's going to be restored and all powder coated and new bushes and all that sort of stuff. So
you've got like panels sitting on top of the roof, like new battery trays and whatnot, because battery trays in these always go. There's a little bit of rust up here you were showing me a minute ago, but yeah, I mean, we'll have a look inside in a minute. It's not rotten like a lot of these are.
Now, I've got in contact with the XR Challenge people. They're no longer supporting these older Fords anymore. So they're going to be XR 150 Challenge, which is the ST150s, Fiestas. So the next one that I can go into is the classic stock hatch championship, where there's a couple of XR2s, and I think there's another XR3i, but they're mainly like 205 GTIs and Novas and all that sort of stuff. So the classic hot hatch, basically. But the regulations from this one don't meet up with the regulations that are in the next series. So like this has got a RS Turbo gearbox with the LSD, can't run LSD because it's a performance enhancer. The windows are polycarbonate. I've got to take the polycarbonate out and put glass in. So much like with your MGF, you know, you've got to build it to like fall into the regulations of the race series that that's
you're
right,
to race this car in.
Again, one make tyre series as well, so they've all got to run Toyo 888Rs.
Really, really cool. This is going to be literally a proper track car racing in a proper race series. I can see that the previous owner has sort of badged it up as a JPS car, the JPS livery, which is the simplest livery you can do to a black car. It's actually got the JPS badge on the back as well. The engine that's going in this is actually down here. So yeah, 1600 CBH XR3 engine. And this is the RS Turbo box that you aren't going to be allowed to run. Yeah, I've got to put an original XR3i gearbox in with the original XR3i gearing
and a non-LSD gearbox.
I'll carefully manoeuvre around the engines to give you a nosy into the cockpit, but yeah, as you can see, it's not rotten like a lot of these are. It's got a full safety devices roll cage in it. You can see the bonnet. Is that gold? Is that JPS?
That's JPS logo as well, yeah.
As well, and front wings, and then some repair panels that Greg's going to be welding in. Got loads of powder coated stuff down here. Is this all MG stuff, is it?
Yeah, that's the setup going into the race car. So all the gas, suspension coilovers and stuff like that. So everything's brand new. Yeah,
around the back you can see it's got the XR3 spoiler. It's got a sticker instead of Ford badge. What's that JPS badge? In the passenger door, there's the JPS badge on and about. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see this thing come together.
It'll take a while.
Yeah. Do send us some pictures when you do.
Yeah, probably won't be ready till middle of the year, I would have thought.
Yeah. So we'll just come back over here to the engine corner. Now you were saying that this is a MG V6,
yeah,
which is going in the MG that's outside. We'll have a look at that in a minute.
Yeah. So that's a 180 engine. Again, completely standard, apart from that it's got a set of Piper 270 cams in it, and it's been timed up for be a 190. So it's got slightly advanced timing on it.
And over here we've got something that's very familiar to me. That's an ST170. That's going in the Mark IV Cabriolet that we saw in the last video.
Yep.
Loving the colour-coded rocker cover on it.
Yeah.
Loving the stainless steel exhaust manifold on it. And it's running the Yaris Core Pack kit with the Mike FPE plate, which you said you're not going to be running.
No, I want to go standard coil pack and leads, purely for simplicity of not changing the wiring harness, because I bought the kit because it's got throttle bodies on it from...
Dan ST Engineering.
That's it, Dan ST Engineering. So I got the whole kit off him, come with the loom, come with the ECU, Motorsport Electronics.
Motorsport Electronics ECU, just like I run on my cars. They're available from my website if any of you guys need an ECU for your car. Link to my website will be in the description, of course. What's this block over here?
That's another race block. It's from the MGF race car.
Okay.
I've got several engines kicking around ready to be built up for spares.
Yeah, so back to the Escort, we didn't sort of talk about the rest of the spec. So, I mean, suspension-wise, what are you planning to run on this?
Standard suspension in the sense of arms, not allowed to relocate any of the mounting points. The only thing I can do is run a coilover type suspension. So this actually came with a brand new set of Gaz Gold coilovers, which will be running on the car. All
right, now there is one more MG at the back, which you're saying is your mate's, right?
Yeah.
I remember when these were sort of new, with the flip paint. I hope it's coming across on camera, sort of purple into blue into green. Would you call that?
Typhoon, they call it.
And yeah, the donor car we saw at the front is basically being ripped apart to build this one, right?
So them panels that we're starting to stitch on there, we took off all the spot welds, as you can see, picked it off the other one, and then we ground out all the old metal that's on there back to where all the factory lines are, and then we'll spot weld all the panels back on as they would be from factory. And if you have a look on the other side, you can see what it used to look like.
Oh wow, yeah. I see what you mean. He's right, like a Ford.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a Honda Civic body shell. A Honda Civic.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Now you come to mention it, before my parents had the ZS, they had a Rover 600, a 623 GSI, and it had a Honda lump in it.
Yeah, you can see by all the switch panels, like all the indicator stalks, it's all Honda.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, these things look mad with the flip paint. Obviously, if you get any damage, you have to respray the whole car. Greg was saying it's got lots of lacquer peel around it and stuff. Quite a bit going on the roof. Again, fake Evo spoiler.
Yeah.
And these rims are actually the same rims you was telling me that you've put on the courtesy car out the front.
Yeah, 18-inch Kai Force 10s.
You're probably the first ones in the world to put those 18-inch wheels on an MG3.
Well, someone did 18s, but it knocked all the bushes out of them because they didn't set it up right, and then gave up and put 16s back on it. Yeah. But yeah, we've been running that now for 18 months with coilovers and 18-inch wheels.
Just have a look inside this MG. Got an alloy rad that will be going in. Got a Sparco bucket seat. This is literally going to be built up as a show car, or is it going to be a track car?
Track car. Potentially turned into a race car. It's like all the seat belt mounting points we've cut them out and put FIA spec seat mounting kit in.
Yeah. Yeah, another one destined for the truck. How rare are these ones with the flip paint?
I think they only made something like 20 180s. So yeah, they don't make many of them at all.
Well worth like restoring because it's so rare.
Yeah.
But it's still going to stick on track.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get out of here, Greg's very kindly offered to take me for a spin in the Turbo Metro. So let's get that thing fired up.
Yeah.
Guessing this thing's going to sound pretty leery. Side exit exhaust on it. Greg's taking some weight out the back. Power to weight ratio. So this thing's running 277 horsepower, proven.
Yep. Proven
on
horsepower.
The dyno.
Yep.
Probably weighs about 800 kilos.
About 800 kilos, yeah.
It don't feel safe, does it? Going that fast in the Metro.
No. I've got a set of Avo coilovers, but I need to sort the exhaust out first because it's all you can hear it all dragging on the floor over bumps and stuff.
Yeah, the suspension feels a bit sketchy, man. Like,
Yeah.
no grip when the boost kicks in.
No.
Oh, this thing's crazy, man. Has it still got the like weird rear suspension that these things come with?
Yeah, it's still got hydro gas
gas.
on the rear. That's been individualised.
Right.
But it's actually got a TF front subframe, so it's got the coil mounted subframe.
Yeah.
But I think the previous owner cut the springs to make it a little bit lower. Yeah.
That's a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
Then I ended up cutting another coil off the springs just to lower them a bit more.
Hence the reason why I went for the Avo coilovers.
So did these have that weird suspension on the front and back originally?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right, I thought it was just the back.
No, hydro gas all around normally.
Yeah.
Same as the MGFs, they're all hydro gas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The subframes on these are pretty much exactly the same as the MGF ones.
Oh, right.
They literally took a Metro front subframe and just stuck it in the rear of an MGF.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about it, but I've definitely heard of the suspension on these being, you know, not ideal.
Yeah.
And I just assumed that, you know, your MGF is like a sports car, so they're made to like handle, no? But
No, I mean they do it quite well.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I mean, the race car's obviously been converted to all coilovers and stuff like that. But
Are you still going to run a side exit when you like redo the exhaust? Or?
not too sure. That all depends on how low that's going to sit when.
It's cool, but if it's going to mean it's going to scrape, it's not worth it, is it? But you said you said you're undecided whether you're going to keep the screamer pipe.
Yeah,
the bonnet.
I'm not too sure yet. I quite like it because when you're on the
I think it's
limit,
cool.
when you're on the limiter, that shoots flames and everything.
Yeah, what do you guys reckon? Should he keep the screamer pipe coming out of the bonnet or not? Put it in the comments. I think he should.
Just need finishing off really.
Yeah, that's it. You bought it like this, and
Yeah.
it's like barely touched it yet.
That's right, yeah. I've literally put a set of wheels on it and that's it. So I've got loads of bits planned for this. So I've got obviously a proper seat mount kit because as you see it's a bit sketchy.
Yeah.
So I've got a proper seat mount kit, a proper bucket seat to go in it. I've got another dash to get rid of all this horribleness because they don't even work anymore. Yeah.
What's that?
That's a boost controller.
All right.
So you just a case of just tidying up all these wires and just make it a nice car more than one that's been slung together.
Yeah, what a crazy machine that is. You don't need 270 odd horsepower in a Metro. You really don't.
Everyone needs 277 horsepower in a Metro.
Escort parts in the office.
Zercoated.
Oh yeah, Zercoat. Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not allowed to run heat wrap around the exhaust manifold.
Right. Well, that stuff works better anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I've got the downpipe done as well.
Yeah.
Just to try and keep control of the...
And this is like the cradle for the engine and stuff.
That is, yeah.
So
just a few other bits and pieces that we've had.
Are they the ones where like the anti-roll bar mounts to?
Yeah, that is, yeah. So that's your front tow hook on there that bolts up. And then that's the anti-roll bar.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's a convertible roll bar because it's thicker as well.
Right. Are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to run thicker anti-roll bars? Yeah.
As long as the standard fitment.
Right.
So, and then we've obviously got all the springs in red as well.
All right, yeah.
And a load of other bits and pieces in there as well.
Right, cool.
Fuel pump cradles and arms and stuff.
Yeah. So you weren't joking when he said it's going to look brand new underneath.
Yeah.
But then rat look on top, which is pretty cool.
Suspension for the F for the race
Oh,
car.
right, yeah.
So all gas coilovers.
Yeah.
And then a new lightweight battery. So feel that.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've got is it an Odyssey or something in my Mark 1?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what I was going to go
still
for.
quite a few kilos, but lighter than a normal battery, you know?
That's what I was going to go for, an Odyssey. But this is
No, that's ridiculous.
lighter.
That is...
And it comes with a
Oh, right.
volt,
All right.
voltmeter on the top as well. Just means I can eat more quick sausage rolls. Focus bits down there. So AirTech oil cooler lines.
Oh, yeah.
AirTech radiator.
And they're the bits you were saying in the last video that you need to fit before the next track day.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then some more Escort race car bits. So that's the fire extinguisher, harnesses and stuff in there.
TRS harness is nice.
Some bonnet pins and stuff like that.
Yeah. You're going to be busy, man.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
And you've got to run a business at the same time.
That's right, yeah. I'm struggling to find time to do everything at the minute. So
that's all right. No chance of you getting bored, at least.
no, that's right. Yeah.
Right, Greg, it is literally night time.
Yeah.
I've literally wasted a whole day of yours, but I really appreciate you letting us come down.
More than welcome.
Really cool to meet you. And yeah, good luck with the mountain of projects that you've got on hand. And yeah, I'm sure we'll bump into each other again at a car meet or something. But
yeah, definitely.
other than that, feel free to keep me posted on the Escort build in particular.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get out of your way. Cheers, man. All right, so just finished up editing this video, and I realised that because we finished filming so late that day, I didn't actually film an outro. And this edit has been a bit of a mission, if I'm being honest, mainly because my microphone stopped working partway through making this video. So apologies for the poor audio in parts of this video, but I hope you enjoyed checking out Greg's awesome fleet of cars in this video and the last video. Definitely go and watch the last one if you haven't already. I want to send a massive thanks again out to Greg for having us round. Now, there was actually one car that wasn't available when I went to see Greg, and that's his 350 brake horsepower TVR, which I'll put a picture on screen of now for you guys to see. And I have spoke to Greg since I was filming at his place, and unfortunately he didn't actually make it to the track day that he was planning to go to the weekend after we were there with 3 of his cars, and he hasn't quite got round to figuring out what the issue was with his GTR, which you would have seen if you saw the video before this one. But yeah, Greg's obviously a busy bloke. To keep up to date with what Greg's up to with his cars, make sure you go and subscribe to his YouTube channel, which I'll leave a link to in the description. Now, before I go, I want to let you guys know about something that some of you might have seen that I announced on my social media, and that's that I'm doing a massive 40% sale on all Marcus Hayes merchandise on my website at marcushayesuk.com. This doesn't include parts and accessories, and it also doesn't include the gift cards that I've now started selling on my website. But yeah, if you want to grab yourself some merch and save yourself some dough, now is the time. Some of the stuff is literally being sold for less than cost price. But, you know, you guys give me so much positivity about my videos and stuff. I just wanted to do a massive sale for anyone who does want to grab some bits. I know that, you know, with the cost of living, things are hard for a lot of people at the moment. So to save 40% on all merchandise, just type in the discount code SALE40 at checkout and the discount will be automatically applied. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe to keep up to date with all my future uploads. For merch and parts, do check out my website. Follow me on social media, and all the links to all of that will be in the description of this video. Massive, massive thanks to my patrons, as usual, for your ongoing support. And for anyone who wants to contact me, my email will be in the description as well. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.